Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back in the house here on A2D Radio, vetted with Irving Fryar and Hollis Thomas. That's my dog, big dog over there. Big dog, give him a read.
Here we go with Philly Sports Strips. I am the Tank. And as you can see, I'm donning the Philadelphia Union shirt because we are the official travel team for the Philadelphia Union because we do all the Philly sports. But football season is up on us, and we have some baller-ass bus trips, and we have premium food, hotels, and just premium travel for the best fans in all the land. And you might meet a legend or two like myself. You never know who you might see. And you come and drink with the Tank, and it was something else that I wanted to mention as well about we have some bus trips. I think I said the bus trips because when I heard that the second lady, she reads it a lot better than me. But it's phillysportstrips.com. Go down there and let us handle all your. If you want to travel premium, you travel with phillysportstrips.com. And I know you see myself and everybody around here wearing the damn Skippy t-shirts. Well, Philly Sports Strips is partnered with Philly Sports Shirts. And from what my buddy Drew tells me, they're donning some Kelly Green apparel as well. So check out Philly Sports Strips and Philly Sports Shirts on phillysportstrips.com and phillysportshirts.com. And tell them you heard it on A2D Radio from the Tank. Back to you, Irv.
Hey, Hollis, she doesn't do a better job of you reading, man, because you don't read. You're just all natural, man. You do your thing like it's supposed to be done. Boy, you do it good, too. Listen, welcome, everybody, to A2D Radio, vetted with Irving Fryar and Hollis Thomas. We got a great show for you today. We have a great guest today. But before we go to our guest, listen up. Our agree to disagree today. All right, can you throw that up there, Ralph? There it is. Jalen Hurts. This is something everybody ought to agree with and better hope for and better pray for, that Jalen Hurts will not miss a game due to injury in the 2023 NFL season. Jalen Hurts will not, because I promise you, if Hurts goes down and Mariota has to come in and it's a meaningful game, we have problems. We got problems.
We do have problems. We would have some problems and issues. I think the way our offensive line is built, they will make sure that happens, that he makes it through the season unscathed. I can see them doing that.
Well, I heard an interview from oh gosh, I'm trying to think of his name now. I can't think. Cam Jurgens. I heard an interview from him on actually this morning, and that's his number one. That's his number one assignment. That's his number one focus, is to protect Jalen, not to allow anybody to mash him, to hit him, to even get close to him. So, and understand this, big dog. Listen, Cam Jurgens is going to end up being the starter at right guard.
I hear you. I hope so. I hope he can take. I hope he can handle his business. And
I hope he does too.
I still like Tyler Steen, but if Tyler Steen can't beat him out, then that's his fault.
And I think they've taken Tyler Steen, and they might not even activate him.
But they're making him a utility guy right now.
Right.
They're making him play all the other positions as well. But he's a second guard to come in, and I think he's been playing a little tackle as well, just in case.
That's right. He's been playing tackle. So we got a lot to talk about today. But first and foremost, we want to bring our guest in, former teammate of both of ours, mine and Big Dog Hollis Thomas's. Third round draft choice, 1995 with the Eagles. Straight out of Miami, y'all. When I got here, he was the truth. It was me and him. He was on the right. I'm on the left. I'm on the left. He's on the right. We were killing it. Y'all bring on the stage. Bring in the room. A2D Radio, vetted. Chris T. Jones. Come on in the house, Chris.
Oh, man. Thanks for the nice introduction, big bro. Oh, man. That brought back memories, boy. You better have to go in there and dust off the cleats and put on that helmet. I think I can run a slant.
Listen.
I can get you one slant. Slant. That's it.
One slant. That's all I got.
Slant. That's it. That's all. That's a wrap.
How far are you going to take it, though? How far are you going to take it? You going to take it to the house?
Oh, no. I can get you a first down. You're
Listen,
going to be struggling, but I'm going to get it there.
My first year in Philly, I came to Philadelphia. I knew about this young cat named Chris T. Jones that was the truth out of Miami. we're going to do this. And my first year here, man, we tore it up. I believe I caught 80 some balls. You caught 70 balls. We were doing it, man.
You broke the tandem Eagles record as a tandem all them years that it was in existence of the organization.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I think we can still hang it. I think we can still do it, Christy. I think we can still do it. Yeah. Look, listen. Slow motion's better than no motion.
Hey, that's true. That's true. Hey, that's one thing at our age. We can talk a good game, but actually going out there physically get lining up with the boys now, it's a whole different animal.
It's a different game now, man. They throwing the ball. I have 160 balls thrown to me, and you have 160 balls thrown to you. It's a different game now. Man. Well, listen, man. Happy belated birthday. You just had a birthday, didn't you?
Yeah. Monday was my birthday, man.
August 7th. Happy belated birthday. How old are you now?
I just turned 52, man.
Oh man, you just
turned 52.
52. I'm sick.
Young 52. I feel young, but you know how it is.
I'll be 61 next month. My gosh. Getting old, man.
I'll be 50 next year.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You always was a young pup, Hollis. You always a young one.
You know what the funniest thing was, and I made sure I told my mom that you was going to be on there, because when I first got to the team, she was talking about the season. She's like, and that one tall bull-legged one. He's like, he just.
Oh yeah, I remember Mom Dukes. Mom was awesome, man. I remember her. I think she more likely watched it if she made it home in time to watch us. But she was always like, "Oh, well, hi, Moms. I miss you, Moms."
She's like,
"Oh man, I remember them days, Irv. I remember riding. Hollis had this. When he first got that money, he got him a Lexus. I remember that Lexus. He had that Lexus.
He was balling. Yeah, he was balling
with the boom. It was decked out. Boy. You couldn't tell Hollis
nothing.
You still can't tell Hollis nothing. So you know what, Chris? I didn't, because I'm obviously was wrapped up in trying to complete my own career and do the things that I was trying to do, and I did not really follow what was going on with you in those next couple of years, man. The next year, my second year there, you still played, but my third year there, I don't remember you not being on the field. But apparently,
when I got knowing I wasn't even supposed to play that preseason game,
right?
Man. It wasn't even important. I guess I remember we had just lost against Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh during the preseason. That when me and Bobby Teller was out. And I went, Ray Rose said, "Y'all playing next week. You're playing next week." Mm-hmm. And then that's when I started my injury when we played the Ravens. Yeah. Okay. And I can't, you know how the vet turf was. God awful. And when I got tackled, all that weight came on that. But the thing is, at that moment, I didn't think that the injury was serious because I thought it was a little meniscus damage and all of that. With me being bow-legged, that's when they realized from all of that, during that season, that third year, that's when I was trying to keep coming back because it was press on because you needed me to get back out there because they was doubling you, doing all kinds of stuff because me and you just had a great year as a tandem the year before. Right. And plus I was really working on my contract year too at that time. And I
getting ready to go big. And Eagles
man. I recall when they sent me the first offer. Back then it was a 5-year, $15 million.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I turned that first offer down.
Woo.
Yeah. Sure did.
And Eagles Land, who's watching right now, we see you, Eagles Land. He says that you were he was robbed of a great career by way of injury, which happens. It happens. It happens.
It does. Especially, you got to understand, I'm young, and then you listening to those doctors. I wasn't one of the ones. I just listened to the doctor. Then I see how players do it now. I'd have definitely did it a whole different way. I'd have went back to my doctors at University of Miami. Nothing against the Eagles doctors at the time. I didn't get second opinions. And then when I realized when I went to Alabama to get the Stedman picking by Dr. Andrews. See what made me go there? Because I trusted Bobby. Bobby Teller was telling me to go on to Dr. Andrews because that when Bobby tore his knee and he was saying how good Dr. Andrews was.
Well, Andrews was the best in the business at the time.
I stayed in Birmingham, Alabama. When I got waived from the day I got cut from the Eagles, that day I I went straight to Birmingham, Alabama. I went and stayed at Birmingham and stayed a year with Dr. Andrews them in rehab, and he did that statement picking, and that's when I was visiting teams, and then I felt comfortable when John Gruden, he was at the Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah.
That's when you came out there. I remember seeing you when you came out there. They was courting you. That's when you ended up signing with Washington instead of coming out there to the Raiders.
I always wanted to play for Raiders, but family and what was my wife at the time, stay close to home, that kind of thing, played a big role into me making the decision to play with the Washington Redskins at the time. Now the Commanders. But man, listen, Hollis and I are going to go back and forth asking you questions, but I want to ask you what the mindset was. I don't think people know all of your story. You're a young man. You're just 3 years in the league. You hurt your knee. You have a promising. You was a bad dude. You could play ball. You could ball. You could go with the best of them. Nobody could cover you. And now you can't play because of an injury. Talk about that mindset and how that impacted you, personally and professionally.
That's a great question. At that time, especially when you're feeling like you was starting to, make a name for yourself and starting to scratch the surface, especially with all you dreamed about. Because I remember my rookie year, I was telling like Fred Barnett and Calvin Williams, I say, hey, the only reason y'all playing, I can't learn this damn offense. I was telling them I had that Miami in me, man. I'm killing.
All y'all from Miami talked all that junk. All y'all from Miami talked junk.
I'm going against the first team defense every day on scout team.
Killing them,
and I'm going against Troy and Bobby. I'm very prepared, but I just can't learn that West Coast offense. And I told them, I said, my second year, you ain't gonna be here. You ain't gonna be here.
And guess what? They wasn't there. I had to come in and take over.
That's when you came in with me.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of that played in my mind. Is that's one thing I never did was question God though. That's one thing I did when I got in that deep depression. I got very depressed, that's when the pain meds started going with the drinking. And then, as that cliche, that I started hanging out with the wrong people was influencing me wrong. And then in that mind frame, you think you're still in the league, but you're not. I look back, I was like, man, you're not in the NFL no more. It's time for you to get yourself together because, with that deep depression, and the harder drugs came. Started doing powder cocaine on top of doing it with the drinking and with the prescription. And then I just was a down spiral until I, one day that I had pick myself up once I had got a divorce. Started picking myself up and all of that. And then with my son mother, when she came in my life, she really helped me pick my pieces up. That's who I'm married to now, my son mother. She really helped me get out that depression and lean on, and then to help me get help. And I've been clean now for about over 12 years.
That's awesome, man. The good women are the ones who will come by your side and not give you a hand out, but give you a hand up. Help you when you're down and stick by you. That's who I'm with now, my wife. And I mean, in the worst time of my life, absolutely the worst time of my life when I ain't had nothing. She came alongside me, man, and she been with me, ride or die ever since.
Absolutely, man.
Stick with that girl, man. Stick with her.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. And that's one thing that I tell you that because the business I'm in now, I run high-end treatments. With Banyan treatment centers. We got like 16 throughout the U.S. and we still growing. And I run the high-end one. We have the NFL. I have former athletes from NFL and players that play NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, the soccer, all that. I have them all come through from doctors, Fortune 500, owners of companies, they come through and I just give them my story because especially the athletes, I have a story for them to let them know. I'm like, hey man, you can't BS me. I know what you're
Right. You
know,
got credibility. That's right.
I say it's a reason why your wife want a divorce. There's a reason why you where you at right now. I say you fooling yourself, man. You can't fool me.
Hold that thought right there, Chris. We're gonna come back. Hold that thought right there, Chris. We're gonna come back. We got a commercial we got to go to.
Yeah.
All right.
Big time,
Hit it, Ralph.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
All right. We're back, everybody. Big Dog, you got a question?
No, I was just gonna tell. It was something funny when you start talking about all your kids, and I was gonna tell Chris how I knew it was time for me to jump on the water wagon. I was playing for the then St. Louis Rams, and we were playing the Fight for Missouri game versus Kansas City in preseason. And so at the end of the game, all of a sudden I heard somebody yelling, "Mr. Thomas, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Thomas." It was his son.
My son. It was my son.
Son Landon. I was like, ah, man. I was like, how old are you? He's like, he was 20-something. I was like, good God, man. It's time for me to get the hell out of here. Because you remember, I knew Landon when he was playing Little League.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Freddie Barnett. Hey, Chris, Freddie Barnett says, good to see you doing good, bro. Freddie Barnett's watching right
tell
now.
Freddie B I say what's up, man.
He's watching right. Tell him yourself. He's watching right now.
What's up, Freddie B? Hey, Freddie B. Hey, I got a story for you, man. I got one of your jerseys. Remember my locker was around each other my rookie year. At the end of the year, I had stole his jersey. You need to come sign it. I got your jersey. I got to sign it and put it in my man cave.
That one you thought you had that you're missing now. You can't remember whatever happened to it.
Yeah, the teller one too. He kept his teller. He had one of them teller jerseys.
I don't remember who it was, Ralph, but somebody mentioned something about what Hollis and I and our hats and what we're wearing right now. They're liking our new drip.
Gina.
Yeah, that's the word that the kids use, drip. So we're going to be doing something, Hollis and I. I'm going to include him on it when the season starts. Yeah, it is. Get a number from you guys. I'll send it to you, Freddie. I'll send you Christie's number. Yeah. So we're going to be doing something every home game day for the Eagles, and we're going to call it Eagles Game Day Drip. And we're going to go around and film people and see what kind of Eagles drip they have on. I'm going to have the best Eagles drip on. My stuff's going to be the rightest. Because I'm going to be from head to toe. You know how it is, Chris T. Ain't nothing changed.
Oh, boy, ain't nothing changed with you, boy, with the tailor-made suit. You're the one got me to get in the tailor-made suits when I was playing. You're like, boy, you can't be wearing no suit off the right. You got to get your tailor-made suit. You know what I'm saying, Hollis? You know we ain't have no money. We getting the suit off the right.
No, man. You got to get it tailor-made.
It's like, you know what made me start getting tailor-made? Was when some of the guys who remember Richard Cooper, who always told jokes about people.
Yeah.
Once you get through lighting that ass up a couple of times, when you come in there with that store-bought suit, and you go ahead and spend the money because you do not want that to be you more than once. You don't want to be the object of ridicule. But it was one question I did have for you when you first got injured. Who misdiagnosed you?
Oh, the Eagles. I hate to say it. It was them cause I can recall game. It was so bad that like after practice, I used to go to one of the doctor's office and they used to try to drain my knee and they used to clog up the syringes.
Wow.
And then shooting me up to go out there and play. It got so bad. I was shooting up every day just to go practice.
Chris T, I have it, and I believe you 100%. You know why? Not because I know you, not because I hear you saying it for the first time. I saw some of that going on with you. Yeah. But the same thing happened to me my third year there. Mm-hmm. They told me I had turf toe, but my big toe was broken. Mm-hmm. I had broken my big toe, during the second game of the season, and I was getting shot up, and Hollis is a witness to this, shot up every week, sometimes even for practice, just to be able to go out and practice. Big Head, is that D?
That's my daughter.
Oh, she says, "Hey, Dad."
My daughter.
How do you say her name?
Hadia.
Okay.
Yeah, Hadia.
So I believe, because they misdiagnosed me. They told me I had turf toe. That's why I kept playing the rest of the season. But come to find out, at the end of the season, I went down to Miami, not the University of Miami, but I went down to Miami Dolphins, and got checked out by the doctor. Huh?
Was it Dr. Uribe?
Yes, and got checked out by the Dolphins, and found out I had a sesamoid bone that was broken underneath my toe. I had been misdiagnosed. I could have ended my career then. I went and played 2 more years, but man, that first year after that, after I had it fixed, was hell. My foot was a problem.
Hey Chris, I walked in. I had this happen to be walking into the training room when they were this is his toe. They were taking the needle, sticking it in the top of his toe. The needle I was like, oh God. And then they was telling me that was the first time I had to get shot up. And they shoot my ribs up. And so they came around.
Ribs are easy, man. Ribs ain't nothing.
No. I had it. So he turned around with the needle. And so they couldn't find the spot because it wasn't hurting no more.
But you know what? I want people to know this. I want people to know this because there was always a dispute in my home at the time about why I was getting shot up. I was getting shot up for a couple of reasons, because I didn't want to number one, I didn't want to disappoint the fans. Number one. Number two, I didn't want to disappoint my teammates. Number three, I didn't want to be labeled as an old guy who couldn't play anymore. Because I was older when I got to the Philadelphia Eagles. And when you get an injury when you're older, they just put you out to pasture. And I didn't want that to happen. But first and foremost, I cared about what people thought and what people said, which I should not have. And I put myself in danger for the people, for the fans, and for my teammates. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we did what we did in terms of trying to get on the field, trying to stay on the field, trying to play with injury, trying to play in pain, trying to practice, no matter what's going on with our bodies, no matter what's going on in our families, no matter what's going on in our lives. We do that because of the pressure that we feel from outside entities like that.
Absolutely. And then it don't help when you're seeing people coming to work out for them positions every Tuesday while you're in the training room.
Hey Chris. We
got some the trainers. You got them looking at you like, they working out some players today.
Look, Nakobe Dean is going through Nakobe Dean is going through that right now. He's hurt as a linebacker. Got a ankle problem, and they brought in two mature linebackers, Myles Jack and Zach Cunningham. And Nakobe Dean is supposed to take off this year. But it's like, okay, what's going on?
But Patrick Johnson also has a sprained ankle.
Oh, he does.
Yes. So
wow.
That's why. But he was that kind of brought me into the next question. I was going to ask Chris T. What did you feel the most pressure from? Because when I had those little nagging injuries, sometimes I would feel it from the coaches because they would come in there all the time and be like, "Oh, you ain't ready yet. You ain't ready yet." And then you feel it for the team. Who gave you the most pressure? What did you feel the most pressure from?
The most pressure was that contract. I'm serious because you just coming off of a strong year, and then you're seeing that Irv is doing this thing, because Irv came in and was a bike-to-bike Pro Bowler. He put it down. It's bike-to-bike, and I wanted to be one of those Pro Bowlers with him as a tandem. And then you had Coach Carr. He's in your ear because he's getting pressure from John Gruden at the time. And all of that, then you seeing your teammates, man. Cause when you're hurt, you feel isolated. You feel depressed. You're seeing everyone going out to practice, y'all joking in the locker room, and you sitting in the damn, on the slab, and they're trying to get healthy. And you just it does something to you, man, emotionally and physically, man. That was a good question though, Hollis. They came in from there, and then it don't help when they come in and you coming in the locker room, in the training room, they feed you with all them damn Percocets and all of that.
And then I was like, I had a couple of major injuries. And when you start talking about the depression, so you see somebody else play your position, and then they pay them comparable to what they're paying you. And being young as you were at the time, I can see you having that. We tend to have, as young men, we tend to have a bit of a Superman complex. And that's true. Like we feel like we're the men of steel. It's like if we can't do it, nobody can. And sometimes it gets us in trouble. And I think the thing that they've started to do now, and I wish they had been doing it back when you were playing, where you could go get that second opinion. It's like, because the reason I asked you about that is because I don't know if you remember the receiver Gary Scott.
Yeah, I remember him. He's from Palm Beach County.
Yeah, they kept telling him he had a high ankle sprain. He had a spiral fracture.
Wow.
Philly's got a history misdiagnosing people.
That's sad, but you know the scary part is though, gang. Y'all think back. We really trusted our trainers too.
We did. No, that's Chris. That's what
y'all remember. We had some good trainers. We had Scotty and
James Collins.
Yep.
Yeah, man. You got to remember.
The two Scotty and James.
We trusted them. It's not like they was hearing what them doctors was telling us.
Right.
When they don't want them pull us to the side.
Right. So, and yeah, we trusted them, but again, things, if that's not how it works today, it doesn't matter what the team says. If it's a painful enough or what they consider to be questionably bad enough, they're going to go get a second opinion or even a third opinion.
I can recall me and James. We flew to Alabama together. Me and him caught a flight. He wanted to learn how to rehab my injury from Dr. Andrews. Them. Me and him went to Birmingham. We went there for a day flight. They gave him all the information. Then we was coming on the flight. He was just really letting me know, like, wow, Chris, I ain't realized that this injury that you was having was this significant, because they couldn't tell because I was bow-legged. It was all the stuff was happening up under my kneecap.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they're letting you know, our doctors at the time, they wasn't even
up on it
like Dr. Uribe, because Dr. Uribe, the one told me, he said, Chris, you need to go see James Andrews also, because Dr. Andrews trained Dr. Uribe.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Fun fact right there.
He was the best.
Well, see, I didn't get to what you're talking about, the second opinion. I didn't get it until when I broke my foot. The dude put the wrong screw in there. He put the
wrong screw. How did he put the wrong screw in your foot?
He put a hollow screw in a 300+ pound man.
What the heck, man?
And then
the Eagles did that?
Yeah, I ended up going to.
I just letting you know, our doctors was jacked at that time.
I ended up. God. Well, see that was when I first started learning about getting a second opinion. I went to Dr. Armand Kalikian, who him and his dad did a whole study on the foot in that area, because not enough blood flow goes down there. And when you have a large, because he had did I want to say it was a receiver he had did, and somebody else says it. He said he tends to skip past the regular human stage, because they think of us as superhumans because of all the pounding and stuff that we do and we take. So it's like you when they you say he goes to the second procedure, which is the titanium screw and a bone graft and a bone graft from your hip. So I ended up having to do that, but I did it in Chicago. They pay for everything, but that was the first time. And then I started reading more of my collective bargaining agreement and becoming a more of a proactive individual in my everyday care.
That's great. That's great. You did that, Hollis. You know what else you got to do?
I know.
You got another read, brother. We'll be right back. Hold on, Chris. Don't go anywhere.
Right.
The Big Tank Dog here for PhillySportsTrips.com. If the Eagles season is upon us, go Birds. As you can see, I'm still donning my Philadelphia Union shirt. Thanks a lot, Vincent, for taking me down so I could beat the drum for the Philadelphia Union, and they won that game as well. But if you're a traveler, if you're a Birds fan and you're a traveler like myself, no other better place to go to than PhillySportsTrips.com for the best hotels, awesome flights. And if you don't want to catch a flight, get on one of our baller-ass bus trips where we have premium, delicious liquor, should I say adult beverages. And you may see a legend or so like myself or some other people that I don't care to name just yet, but they're on the site. Just go to PhillySportsTrips.com And I do have to get Chris T one of my damn Skippy t-shirts. Drew is watching. It's phillysportshirts.com. And Drew is also, Drew just alerted me for Philly Sports Shirts that he's doing some Kelly Green apparel as well, because everybody wants the Kelly Green now because it has been the forbidden fruit for so long. So go to phillysportshirts.com to book your trip, and Philly Sports Shirt to get your apparel, because we will be looking at your quote unquote, as Irving says, your drip. And tell them you heard it on A2D radio, and tell them that the tank sent you. Back to you, Irv.
All right, I'm gonna be Kelly Green.
Boy, Hollis, you make me want to go to and order some stuff. Boy, I'm telling you, boy, you're pitching that, boy. You're doing a great job, brother.
I appreciate
Malik Benjamin, I thank you, bro. Malik Benjamin. Listen, I'm gonna be Kelly Green drip down this year. Y'all, but don't play with me this year. Don't play with me. You see, I'm starting with my hat right here. I'm just giving you a taste. Even my lights in the back are Kelly Green. What? Talk to me now.
Everything. I don't know if you know.
Oh, you got some Kelly Green lights back there with you too.
Those are the green lights.
Okay, all right, we good. It's not dark green, it's the Kelly Green. It's not the midnight green.
I've never been to the new stadium, man. The last time I was in the stadium in Philly was the Vet, man.
Well, that's part of why we call this show Vetted, because we've been vetted.
Yeah.
We're not just veterans, but we've been in the vet. We play.
But you remember how John Gruden with the big rats and all that stuff?
Lord have mercy. People don't know about that, man. Remember, we were in a meeting, and was it a rat or something fell through the ceiling? It's a rat. We're in a meeting. Listen, everybody, we're in a meeting. They're doing installation of the offensive plays, and a rat fell through the ceiling.
It was a cat in the rat.
Like, what the heck?
Gruden said, "Look at this."
A rat fell through the ceiling. That was absolutely ridiculous.
Ricky Waters and Charlie Garner in there, like, oh my God,
it was crazy.
It was crazy, man.
So, Chris, people are watching right now, okay, and people will watch this at a future time after this podcast posts that are dealing with a similar situation that you had to deal with. I've dealt with it. Hollis may have dealt with it. I'm not sure, but that depression, man, that mindset, that feeling, what it entails, and what it takes to come out of that state of mind and those emotions. It's not something that you can just snap out of. People will say snap out of it. You can't. No. It's something that you have to deal with day by day, just like it took you day by day to get into it. It's going to take you day by day in a conscious effort and focus to get out of it. Talk about that transition. Talk about that part of your journey.
Man, great question. It's one thing it takes. First of all, if it start off with some type of faith, what faith you believe in, you put yourself around some loved ones. It's gonna take a village, and for one, you got to be honest with yourself. Right. That you got to accept that you need help, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was running. I didn't go. I came kicking and screaming at time, but you got to realize I was tired, man. I was tired, and I just looked myself in the mirror that one day, man, and I was high as hell too. And I was like, man, I can't continue living my life like this. And that's when I decided to go and stepped up and get some help. And then that's when you get the help. You got to be honest with the people that you're talking to, from a preacher all the way to a priest, or to your counselor or your therapist, because you got to understand, especially from a male, especially from a Black Afro-American males, that, sometimes we feel like we was raised to deal with it. And,
that's a lie. That's a lie.
And then a lot of people don't understand too, man. I learned, big bro, that in Hollis, a lot of trauma from when you're younger, man, that it can be so dormant that you can forget that you had that trauma, man. And that can be some of the root of some of the issues that you was having. Then and once that come to surface, man, and then you really work on it, that's when you start to self-heal. That's when you start the healing process. But it's day by day, at any moment, I try not to put myself in situations, still to this day, it's still a struggle from a day-to-day basis, how you deal with things. Especially like, for instance, what my mom is going through, and you just got to stay positive. And then the beautiful part about me, I can say that I'm rounded every day. I got therapists. I'm around, the treatment field every day, and I can go step in the hair groups. Or I can go to meetings, AA meetings, all of that. You know what I mean? That's something that you got to instill in your life, so you can keep yourself afloat, man. And keep yourself positive. You got to keep yourself around positive too, people.
That's good. I dealt with drugs, not so much alcohol, but cocaine and freebasing and that stuff, and had to make the same decision to either get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah.
But it's bad choices and good choices. We all make bad choices and good choices. Why? Because we all have good behavior and bad behavior. Yeah. And those good choices and those bad choices develop good behavior or bad behavior. And that good behavior or bad behavior turns into good consequences or bad consequences, positive consequences or negative consequences. So we got to start with the habits that, like you're saying, it's habits. Whoever's watching right now, it's the habits that we have. I talked about that this morning, actually, on our prayer line this morning, about the habits that we have. We have to develop good habits and recognize and acknowledge our bad habits. Like you said, absolutely. Chris, you got to recognize this is a bad habit, and then do what you can day by day to change that bad habit, stop doing that bad habit, and turn it into a good habit.
Absolutely. Well said.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hollis, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, man.
I know you guys are good. It was a touchy moment. I know. Well, no, it's like you. It's like sometimes it's real good to talk about things like that. But if I had something to add, I would. But you guys pretty much said it all, and it's you have to, like Chris T was saying, you got to get around positive stuff, because if you get around the stuff that got you to the spot that you're in, you're going to stay in that spot. You have to make changes, and that's the one thing. If anybody could tell you anything, the one thing they should tell you is that you have to make changes in order to get out of the situation. You have to make some changes. It's going to be some of the hardest changes, because it's going a little bit of it's going to tear your heart out, but you still have a heart. And if you make those changes, and you'll still be able to walk around and live. But if you don't make those changes, you're not going to make it.
You're not going to make it. That's right.
I haven't seen no one did it yet.
Right. So with that being said, we're going to get into some football here in a minute, Chris.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you're doing now. You kind of briefly skimmed over it a little bit, but tell everybody what you're doing and where you're doing.
I work with a beautiful company named Banyan Treatment Centers. We have 16 throughout the U.S. and it still continue growing. I'm the director of operations here in West Palm Beach. Well, it's on the ocean, Palm Beach shores, called Seaside of the Palm Beaches. It's a high-end executive treatment center. It's a concierge approach. We cater to the Fortune 500 companies, MLB, NFL, NBA. We help collective a lot of people from all the way from pilots. And believe it or not, a lot of airplane pilots are struggling.
Oh man,
a lot of them struggle because with their work schedule, and all of that. So we do quite a bit of helping the ones that need help. And then don't get me wrong, we have the ones that high end, but we have other ones that you can go insurance based and all of that at Banyan Treatment Centers.
You ain't doing no coaching?
Excuse me?
You're not coaching? You ain't coaching no receivers or nothing?
Man, the last time I coached, it was a fun fight. The last time I coached, I tried to go out and help my alma mater, Cardinal High School. I've realized quick that wasn't for me.
Well, he's coaching people. He's not coaching athletes.
I one of them parents would have been on the news.
That's because you old school.
In your face and doing what you like doing. What are you doing?
Old school.
And then you can't talk to them kids like that no more. I was one of them kids from the upbringing, them coaches that got in your face, the raw coaches. You can't do that now to these kids. No, you get yourself in trouble.
Yep.
So I'd rather just sit back and just observe and watch.
Chris, there's some you kind of shook me up there for a minute. You said that there's pilots who are struggling, and I know that. But
Yeah, man.
But there's some jobs. There's some jobs you can't have there's some jobs that you can't have a bad day. Pilots are one of those jobs where you can, bus drivers, train drivers, you can't, doctors who are surgeons, they cannot, you can't have a bad day on the job. There's certain jobs that you can't work and be having a bad day. Man, you'd have made me nervous now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we don't have, man, I don't have doctors, I don't have nurses, I don't have pilots. I'm telling you, man. The addiction, that's one thing. That disease don't have a face, man.
No, I know.
Airtight, whoever's airtight, whoever.
Addiction,
that's real. That's
addiction
real, man.
Is not prejudice,
you remember that Denzel Washington movie? He was that pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Flight.
It's true, brother.
Yeah, though.
That's all I'm saying. It's truth.
He did his best work high, though.
Yeah. He landed that plane high. Based on a true story.
You're going to have me, it's based on a true story. You're going to have me fasting and praying before I get on a plane now.
Hey, that's one pet peeve I do. When I always get on the plane, I always look in that cockpit to see the pilot eyes.
Right.
I have to see his eyes. I have to say hello.
As you get know you do. As you get know you do one of these.
Yeah,
go smell his breath too. Can I come here? Can I talk to you for a minute?
What's okay? So
Scott Nutamaker, what's going on, bro? I see you.
Chris T, what was one of your favorite football moments? You know, because it was a couple in playing. We're not going to talk about me and our party times that we had when
we had some classes. I gotta give y'all this, boy. Big bro used to be so hard on me when I used to come in that room. He was like, because Irv used to know that I used to go out from time to time.
That's right. Because you messing with my job.
That's right.
You going out partying. That's right. I bring Christy over. Come here, man.
Come here. Let me smell you. What you did last night. And then it used to be sometimes, like during the off season, Irv used to come, he ain't have to come to the mini camp. Sometimes he'll pop up and then he'll be like, hey, I'm coming in. I'll be right there because I thought I'd have a hotel room by myself. Next thing I'm like, oh man, because I knew I had to be right. Oh man.
I try to keep you right, young blood.
Yeah,
look, I had been there. Look, trust me, I had been there and had done that. I was in your shoes, young in the league, doing my thing, running the streets, acting the fool, making more press off the field than I was on the field. Trust me, I was doing that. I'll try to keep you out of trouble.
I think he froze up a little bit. Did he? He froze up. He froze up.
Okay, he is frozen. Hopefully he'll come back. I don't know, Ralph, there's something you can do about that. If not, Hollis and I will keep going. So Hollis.
Yes, sir.
There was a fight in training camp with the Eagles. I'm surprised because things are so light most of the time. There was a fight.
Was it Derek Barnett?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Derek Barnett with Landon Dickerson. I'm surprised who it was with.
No, I knew Derek Barnett really can't get right.
Well, yeah, but he's always getting penalties and acting.
He's always fighting too.
Yeah, he's always fighting.
Yeah, he's the one that choked. What's the boy name before he left? The kid, the big pudding, number 77.
So you're not thinking much of it. I mean, it was a cheap shot. Apparently, it was a cheap shot from Barnett after a wide receiver screen, and Dickerson threw Barnett to the ground.
Right.
Okay. Because apparently Landon Dickerson hit him blindsided, and then Barnett responded and pushed Dickerson from the back, and he hit the ground. Right. Then everybody came in and stopped the fight.
Started the melee?
Well, no, it wasn't melee. They came in and stopped it.
Okay.
But does that surprise you, or is that something that for us when we were playing ball, if guys weren't fighting, then we weren't practicing hard enough?
It happens all the time. I got into a few skirmishes, but it's something that happens during training camp because you get tired of hitting on the same person all day long. Right. And then sometimes you'll come to practice and somebody who's can't get right, you get tired of the antics, And so you lash out. And then he lashes back out because he's gotten to you like that's what can't get right. So I was cracking up because I read the article. I was like, shocker that it was him. He's always getting into fights, but he's always doing. That's why he's called Can't Get Right. It was quite interesting though. The more interesting part though was them bringing up Devin Allen and bringing back the kid from Southeast Missouri, the 6'4" guy kid who's
Deon Cain.
Is it? No, it was another guy they brought back.
They brought back another guy. They brought Cain back a couple of weeks ago. I guess they're doing the same thing at the position of linebacker, recognizing the fact that they don't have any depth. You know, they brought in Myles Jack. I mentioned it earlier. They brought in Zach Cunningham. Titans with the last year. Zach Cunningham last year. Jack was with the Steelers. Yeah. So they're bringing these guys in. They're 27, 28 years old. They've been around for a while. They have some experience.
And it's quality experience too.
Right.
It's like to what you're saying. It's like so when you look at the guys that they brought in, both of them are familiar with the side. Also, then you have to look at it like this, like we were just talking to Christy about. You got a couple of young guys who are injured.
Right, Nakobe Dean for one.
Yeah,
who's not playing. I mean, he did show up the practice that they had in the link where they invited the fans. He did put his uniform on. He did come on the field, but he didn't really practice.
Right.
So tell me, what are you thinking about it? What do you think the Eagles are thinking? I mean, because it's a similar move that they made last year with Ndamukong Suh and with Linval Joseph around this time of the year to try to bring some depth to that defensive line. It's a similar move, but the big story is that Nakobe Dean hasn't been on the field. They really can't evaluate where he is right now because he's really not practicing. Yeah,
but it was like when two guys go down like that, it puts undue pressure on the position because now not only do the guys who normally they count on for special teams all the time, now they have to do the 1 and the 2 work now because you didn't have anybody in there. So it puts undue pressure on the other guys who are trying to really just earn a spot. And when I say earn a spot, the more you can do. Like, yeah, they want to play linebacker too, but they know the main reason they're gonna make the team is because they're a special teams demon.
Not Myles Jack and Cunningham. They're not playing special teams.
Not them. I'm talking about the younger guys behind.
The younger guys,
The guy, not so much younger guys, but the guys that are behind Patrick Johnson and Nakobe Dean. So it's like you had the Chris Ellis in there, you had the kid out of Michigan State in there as well, and you want some quality depth. Depth is good until you have to use it. Marv Levy.
Right. We got Chris back in the house.
Okay.
Is he back in the house? There he is.
Sorry, gang. Some bad weather in Florida.
Oh, you got bad weather? Yeah, we had a storm up here a little while ago too.
Real bad. It's thunderstorms out here right now.
Well, hold on. We got to do this last video, this last commercial, and we'll finish the show. Go ahead, Ralph. Take it away.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
All right, we are back in the house for our last segment here on Vetted, airing on A2D Radio. We got Chris T. Jones in the house, his house.
Glad to be back.
Malik Benjamin, we see you, brother. Thanks for being with us today. So, Chris T., you didn't play as long as you wanted to, or as long as you would like to have played. Are you still an Eagles fan? Are you still a Philadelphia sports fan?
Oh man, Philly, that's the place there, boy. That's my heart there. Ain't no Philly. I tell a person quick, ain't no Philly fan like no Philly fan in the world. Oh man, hey boy, they ride it, they body. That's all they want is on the field. That's it. That's it.
So tell me, we didn't play, and you and I can really were impacted by this, the lack of not talent, so to speak, but the lack of greatness in a quarterback always has an impact on receivers. You know, we played with guys like Ty Detmer and Bobby Hoeing and Rodney Peete. Rodney Peete was good, but you know, they were just above average. They weren't great quarterbacks, so to speak. Now we got a guy by the name of Jalen Hurts, man. I know you've been watching. I know you've been listening. Tell us about what you think about Jalen.
Man, I love that young man. Hey, just his approach to the game, the approach how he carried himself. You can tell that guy was going to be special, and it's showing right now that he is a true leader, and then he got talent. I can't imagine playing with someone like that, man.
We can only imagine playing with some catching balls with somebody like that.
I ain't never have an elite quarterback, man.
Right.
College, you know, it's like his balls be so you get jealous. You're like, oh my God,
that's
we get that, but you know, but that's one thing. I hope that the Birds do repeat and get back to the Super Bowl. I do pull for them. You know, that's one thing I still brag about the Eagles, and that's one thing I do pull for them.
The one question I have for you is, like, when y'all both just said that, I didn't realize it because I was here with Donovan. I was here in those years, but then I was here with Donovan, who was an elite quarterback. But then I got traded, and I went down and I had Drew Brees with me, and I'm like, man, if y'all could have played with like Cool Breeze, man. And it didn't register to me until you just said something. I was like, just think. If you guys had an elite quarterback when y'all was a tandem at the
it would have been a wrap. It would have been a wrap.
Yeah. You got to remember, Irv caught more than at that time was the franchise record at 80-some ball. He'd have been in the hundreds.
Well, Chris, it just got broke last year by A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, but they didn't break it until the 17th game.
See what I mean? We did it in 16, baby.
We did our thing,
strike by.
That's right. We did our thing. They didn't break it to the 17th game. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, everybody who's listening right now on A2D radio here at Vetted, I still hold the record.
Yeah, you sound like the Iceman when they asked the Iceman, was he going to call Klay Thompson? He's like, Klay Thompson hit 3-pointers. There was no 3-point line when I wanted to score a title. He said I had 52 in 30 minutes. Why would I call him to congratulate him?
So Chris, we got something going on right now. I'm sure you're following it, or not necessarily following, but you know about it. You're aware of it. Right now, kind of the same scenario is going on right now that kind of evolved last year around this time. So the Phillies were doing bad. Then all of a sudden they started doing better. They kind of went down a little bit. Now they're on the rise again and looking really, really good in terms of their chances to get to the playoffs. We know they made it to the World Series. We're just a couple of games away from winning the World Series last year. And people were excited last year about the Eagles at this time. People still had the question mark of whether or not Jalen Hurts was going to be the man for the next few years, next 10 years. But now that is eliminated. Jalen Hurts, I'm so glad. And that was my best moment of last year when everybody finally was convinced that Jalen Hurts is the quarterback of the future, the present and the future for the Philadelphia Eagles. But the same thing is going on right now. We're really excited. People are really excited about what the Eagles are going to do this year, the upcoming season. Even the news, they're planning on doing all kinds of stuff for this preseason game on Saturday. They're going to have a pre-game analysis and post-game analysis. They're having a pre-party and all this kind of stuff. And it's a preseason game. They're doing all this stuff. So tell me, give me your predictions, my brother, about what you feel is going to happen.
Oh, for the year?
For the year. Are the Phillies going to make it back? Well, talking about the Phillies and the Eagles.
Okay, so the Phillies. Hold on, before you answer, I have to bring you up to date. Phillies threw a no-hitter yesterday.
No-hitter yesterday, yeah.
And the kid Wilson, his very first MLB at bat, he hit a home run. Dad was in the stands crying. Wow. Now, you didn't see that, did you?
That's fake, man.
I know.
We got a lot of stuff going on.
That was the first time in Phillies history that's ever happened. A no-hitter and a player coming up to his first MLB at-bat and hitting a home run.
And the no-hitter took place yesterday, and it was only the 14th no-hitter thrown in all of the Philadelphia Phillies history.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, hey, man, that's one thing I'm going to roll with. I'm always roll with the Phillies and the 76ers and the Eagles, man. Hey, I'm in my heart, I'm a diehard Philadelphia, man. Hey, that's one city that accepted me when I came as a rookie. They embraced me when I came to that city. That's all nothing but love for that city, man. Nothing but
okay, well, since you mentioned the Sixers, we weren't talking about the Sixers, but I need you to be honest right now, okay? Because I got some issues. I got some issues, and I don't mind saying it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I got some issues with a couple of jacks on the 76ers. And one of them is James Harden. The other one is Joel Embiid. Hit me back. What you think?
Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. You got to understand that Embiid, that boy's a beast, man.
No, he's a beast, but is he the leader? Is he the leader that the Sixers need to get them to the next level? He doesn't have that mentality.
Piece with him. He needs someone. He needs someone that got dog in him. I hate to say it. You don't hate
to speak the truth.
No, he doesn't have the dog in him.
You know what I mean? Hard and too wishy-washy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He got to be able to depend. Put it like this: if Harden had Westbrook mindset, Harden would be a beast, man.
Right.
If he had Westbrook mindset is a beast. He's a pit bull. He don't care who he playing. You ain't his friend that day.
Right.
Right. That's how you got to play that game, and that's the way I see Embiid playing it.
Right. And that's the way it should
Allen
be.
used to play. Allen didn't have no friends out there. Allen didn't care, man. So you got to have. See, I guess Harden got to embrace having that attitude of being a Philadelphian, man. He don't have that embrace like that. That's why you see the guy. He skipped town, man. He's ready already trying to go to LA.
During the playoffs.
To go to LA.
He went to LA during the playoffs.
It's no coming back now. Say for instance, they can't trade him. Do you know the damage control they got to do with him?
Because he's still here.
Yeah,
they're gonna start the season off.
No fans in Philly go, man. I can recall going to a game that I forgot. You know how we rushing to try to get to the game, saying, "Hey, I signed an autograph later." Christy, I hope you get hurt. You suck. I said, I'm gonna get you late. I'm running late. They don't care, man.
Lord have mercy.
Oh my God.
So Chris, you're funny, man. You got kids, man? You said you mentioned you got kids.
Oh man. I got my daughter. Princess Prayer, she'll be a senior this year. My son, next year he'll be a doctor. He's in medical school.
Oh, cool!
Wow.
Yeah, man, be a dentist, man. Chris C. Jr. He doing this.
Listen,
thing,
man, that's great, man.
Yeah.
The most feared person on the planet, dentist.
Yeah. Well, y'all gotta understand. This is a fun fight. You gotta understand. You know, my son he's 6'6".
Man.
He's 6'6", 282 with a size 17 shoe. His hands is like mitts gonna be going in people's mouth.
Wow. Well, at least he's got a steady hand. But you know what? That's great, man. Because there's nothing better. There's no better feeling for a parent than when their child makes it and becomes successful. There's no better gift a child can give to their parent than to become independent. And then when they rise to the occasion, graduate from whether it's high school and become successful in whatever endeavor they pursue, or whether they go to college and graduate from college and become, get their degree and do something in the field that they studied. Man, there's no better feeling for a parent than when the child accomplishes like that, man. So congratulations, bro. That's awesome,
you, man. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, man.
Awesome. Thanks to both of y'all, man.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, Chris T, man, we done had an hour, man. It's good to hear from you. It's good to see you. Though
Yeah.
I promise you,
I gotta get you up. I gotta get you up into a game, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I got to see the new stadium, man. I miss the city, man. I
I'm
love
gonna,
you
let,
guys.
I'm gonna let you go on that tour with them, and y'all can just come back to where I am. But I'm gonna see if I can work something out.
we're gonna make Chris. We're gonna make that happen. Hollis and I gonna make that happen this year.
Yeah.
All right.
I appreciate that.
It'd be good to see you, man.
I just want to thank both of you guys for letting me be on part of your show. I love you guys. I want to tell you two, big bro, thank you for taking the time out from a wild little young boy I was at that age, that you was trying to teach me how to be a pro and be a man. And I just want to thank you two, Hollis, that you always been genuine. You always been A1 from day one, man. And I appreciate the love that you both guys that bring. And it's priceless to my heart. And I love you guys dearly.
Love you too, man. Thank you, man.
Y'all really made my year by bringing me on the show, man.
I've been looking for dude. I've been looking for you since you left. I was like, what? I was looking for you. And Sheila.
Well, y'all lost. The Eagles' lost child has been found.
Yeah, and you remember Sheila from the Medicare pedicure place?
Oh man, yeah.
She asks about you all the time. I still go to her.
Oh man, definitely send my love and give her a big hug for me.
Okay, when I see her, I'm gonna make sure I tell you said what's up.
Yes, that's right. Cause Lord knows, boy, no one feel like don't let nobody know. I'm married. I don't have none of them other problems with girls when I'm down there. Cause I know, boy, you can run hard and feel it, boy.
Hard in the paint.
Hey, Christy, I love you too, man. This has been a treat, a big treat for me, man. I'm just happy to hear from you, happy to see that you look and are doing well, man. We've all had ups and downs, and man, I'm glad to reconnect with you, man. And we're going to stay connected, and we're going to enjoy life until we can't enjoy it anymore. Then when I see you in the next life, if I beat you there, I know you'll meet me there. So we'll be in touch here after the show, and we'll start hooking that up so we can get you here to one of the games. All right, bro?
All right. Hey, absolutely. God bless you guys.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Y'all, listen, that was Chris T. Jones, former teammate of myself and Big Dogs there, Hollis Thomas, back in 1996 and 97. Yeah. He was with the Eagles.
He was drafted
out of Miami, wide receiver. He was a great receiver. When I came here in 96, I knew that he had just gotten drafted in the third round and he was going to do big things. And my first year here, I was a Pro Bowler. I believe I caught 88 or 88 passes. Right. And he caught 70 balls. Yeah. Second year in the league. Yes. We were doing our thing. Yes, and the future really looked bright for us. But unfortunately, like it can happen to anyone who plays the game. And we played in the vet. You know, he messed his knee up and wasn't able to ever recover. Now we have, there's, as far as medicine is concerned and technology is concerned, things have changed and advanced and gotten better. Big time. But because of the structure of his body, you heard him talking about being bow-legged.
Bow-legged, yeah.
The structure of his body wasn't allowed to happen. Yeah. Yep. It just couldn't be fixed to the point where he can get back on the field and play. Yeah. But y'all, we had a great show today. We're going to take just a couple of seconds to give some Hollis history. History of the Hollis. We don't want to miss it. I think we missed it last week.
No, we didn't miss it. We got a couple of things.
Well, we're not going to miss it this week.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple of quick ones here. Today is August the 10th, 2023, the 222nd day of the year. There's only 143 of these suckers left. Quick national holidays. Today is National S'mores Day. It's a National Lazy Day. It's actual World Lion Day. I wonder why. A lot of Leos. And it's National Smithsonian Day. It's National Smithsonian Day because on this day in 1846, Congress passed an act establishing the Smithsonian Institute, which is now the world's largest museum and research complex. Other events that transpired today, O.B. Brown, he patented the movie picture projector in 1869. In 1889, Dan Rayland patents the screw cap. In 1970, I won't read that. That was a bad one. I'll just read a couple of birthdays. It was why postal workers go postal. We don't have the time to talk about that.
Yeah,
Birthdays. Greg Meisinger birthday was yesterday. That's my boy. He's probably watching us. Also in 1964, Aaron Hall. 1965, I got a chance to meet John Starks. He's a pretty cool dude. 1967, Riddick Bowe. 1968, Michael Bivins from New Edition. 1995, yes. 1993, Andre Drummond, former Sixer. 1995, Dalvin Cook, who still hasn't signed with anybody. And 1999, Tremetrius Jamel Morant. Ja Morant.
Ja Morant.
Yes, hopefully he's not doing nothing stupid.
Listen, y'all, that was History with Hollis. We have it every week right here on A2D Radio. We're done here on Vetted. We thank you for being with us today. Shout out to all of you who are watching, Gina and Remo, JT Stroh, who's that? Eagles, is that Eagles Slanted? I think that's who that is. Blush, I can't read some of these.
Eagles landed.
Chris Cuffman.
The Eagle has landed.
Dynasty 215, Eagles landed. Yeah.
Eagle has landed
with us today.
Appreciate
we'll be back
y'all.
Next. Y'all, it's football season. Oh my gosh.
It's about to come on tonight.
What? It's coming on. Check it out next week. Here every Thursday, 5 p.m., A2D Radio, Vetted with Irving Fryar, that's me, and Hollis Thomas, that's him.
That's me. Damn.
See you next week.